We
Yeah,
are
we
delighted to see you. And I'm going to hand over to Joe Waller, Professor Joe Waller, who's our host today. So
Thank you,
go ahead.
Chris. Welcome, everybody. It's great to have some people on. Thank you, Chris, for sharing the slides. So I'm Joe Waller. I'm a researcher in behavioural science at King's College London, and I've been a member of the campaign committee for IPVS for the last 3 years, I think, maybe. So yeah, it's really exciting to see the build up to the next HPV Awareness Day. So yeah, if we can go to the next slide. I think given that there's not many of us here and we don't all know each other, I think it would be nice to just go around and do introductions if we could. So you could put your cameras back on and just say hi before we get into the presentation. So yeah, as I said, I'm Joe. I'm a researcher in behavioural science at King's in London. Chris, do you want to, I think we will probably know you, but why don't you just go next?
I'll keep it really short. I'm Chris Amsinger. I'm campaign officer working on the International HPV Awareness Campaign together with Anita Wiseman, Coralie, and the IPVS Advocacy Campaign Committee, to which Joe also belongs. And so yes, you guys pretty much know me and my role.
Great. I'm just going to go down the list as I can see it. So Coralie, would you like to go next?
Yes, sure. So hi, I'm Coralie. I'm the executive manager of the Society of IPVS, and I'm based in Geneva in Switzerland. Glad that you're able to join us today.
Zodwa?
Good morning. Again, my humble apologies for being late. I'm Zodwa Sitole from South Africa. I'm the head of advocacy. Thank you. I work for Cancer Association of South Africa. Thank you.
Great, welcome. It's great to have you here. Cindy?
You're on mute, Cindy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Cindy. I'm from the A for HPV. It's called the Alliance and Action for HPV. Yeah, I'm so glad to be here today from Singapore.
Great, welcome.
Hi everyone. I'm Lorraine Govender from the Cancer Association of South Africa, and I'm the National Manager for Health Promotion. One of my focus areas is assisting with the campaigns and a national rollout of campaigns. Thank you.
Brilliant. So Zichen, if you want to chip in and introduce yourself, please do, and otherwise we'll move on. Brilliant to have people from 3 continents. That's really great representation. So the plan for this morning, we've just got an hour, is to for me to just take you through a little bit about the run up to the campaign for this year, to look through some of the toolkit that we've put together for the campaign with the campaign materials, and then for you to ask questions if you've got any, and then if anyone's got plans that they'd like to share for the 4th of March, then please do share and we can get ideas from each other. And I think the session's being recorded, and then it will be shared with other partners who can't make it this morning. So let's move on. Brilliant. Thank you, Chris. Doing a good job with the slides. So the goals of the campaign are firstly to raise awareness and understanding about HPV, to do that around the world, particularly in some countries that we're targeting this year. And we've got multiple commonly spoken languages, so we've done a lot more translation this year than previously. So we've got English, French, Spanish, Hindi, Japanese, Bassa Malay, Brazilian Portuguese, Chinese, Italian and Russian, I think. I hope I've got that right. And we'll be looking at the campaign reach and the partner activities as a sort of key performance indicator of how well we've done with the awareness raising piece. We want to ensure that the day, the March the 4th, provides a highly visible and a good annual focal point for international HPV awareness. And that then it supports that sort of focal point of one day, goes on to support around the year global public conversation about HPV. So we'll be using the hashtags and social media impressions to get a sense of reach, and we'll be showing you, I think, some statistics from the previous campaign. And then part of our aim is to provide toolkit of assets for our partner network to use, and that can be adapted locally to maintain alignment with the global campaign, but to make sure that you're tailoring your messages at a local level so that to fit your target audiences. And we'll be measuring that looking at the download of the assets from our website. So this is the audience segmentation, and this is the same as last year. So we've think of the vaccine target group as the dreamers, so the teens and preteens aged 9 to 14. And the idea is to get them to want the vaccine as a way of having one less worry about HPV. And then the doers are the women who are in the screening eligible age. So removing worries about the smear test and highlighting the sort of peace of mind that comes if you take part in screening. And then those are influenced by gatekeepers who can be parents or educators or wider social networks of those groups to try and encourage them to take the action they need to take. We've got advocates, so HPV organisations, cancer survivors, engaged influencers who can use their reach to spread the word, and then facilitators, including government bodies, health agencies and the medical community, who can prioritise availability and acceptability of the vaccine and screening, so to actually make sure that if people get motivated to engage in these health protective behaviours, that the opportunity is there for them to do so. So we're now on to the 6th International HPV Awareness Day. It was inaugurated in 2018. Since then, the campaign has really developed and evolved to have this global overarching message and to try and attract as much attention as possible in social media and encourage audiences to seek out other information about HPV and then to take steps, if appropriate, to have the vaccine and have screening. Last year, the campaign responded to the increased public awareness of viral transmission that had been brought about by the COVID pandemic, and the importance of prevention and positive messages, that it's a, well, I guess with COVID we did develop vaccines very quickly, but HPV is a virus that we've known about for a much longer time and we understand much more about, and we have those tools available to beat it. So this year we're aiming to respond to the growing levels of health anxiety with a very simple message that getting vaccinated or going for screening is a really simple and easy way to create one less worry in your life. So the same message as last year on that front. So this is the sort of overall concept of the campaign again, which is the one less worry concept. So the idea that the world has a lot of uncertainties. We're all thinking about climate change and global health emergencies, inequality, armed conflict, poverty. Even if it's not poverty, cost of living is a big consideration for lots of people. So it can feel overwhelming, and the message that we're trying to convey is that HPV is something that we can overcome. We're aligned with the WHO targets for elimination of HPV, and that would mean one less worry for our future. So here it's quite a lot of text, and I don't even know if I can read the small text, but the key message is the purple bars are the data from 2021 and the bright pink ones are for 2022. And I think the key sort of take home from this slide is the bars are much higher on the pink ones. So across all the sort of metrics we looked at, we did really, really well with the help of people like you and other partners to get more attention, more reach, and get the message out there. So we're hoping that this year we will do even better. Don't know, Chris, whether you want to highlight anything particular else from that slide. Maybe not, in which case we can move on to the next one. Chris, do you want to say a tiny bit about these ones? Because I think you know more about the local activity that went on last year, so it'd be great if you can just take us.
The next few panels were just a selection taken from our campaign 22 performance report. Our partners in Japan did some amazing stuff. We had if you look down on the right, we had on the Shibuya Square, a big billboard with making advertising the One Less Worry campaign and playing the last year's video. We had one of our posters distributing one of our partners distributing posters to all the pediatric clinics around Japan. There were webinars involving young people and cancer survivors, and a cervical cancer screening event led by a well-known doctor in Japan. So, and also so we have 5 partners in Japan. They collaborated to each kind of use their strengths. You see the alliance over on the left top. And they just did some amazing stuff, and they're still going strong with new amazing stuff. So yeah, it's just a really great collection of people there. Well, I could talk maybe too long about the stuff they're doing now, so I'll move forward. But this is just meant to kind of inspire, provoke some thought from oh, so that's a possibility as well, to maybe apply in your own geographical reach. So let me just go. Canada was another our collection of partners in Canada also did an amazing job last campaign with digital billboards and webinars in both French and English, videos with storytelling to educate about HPV, and a successful press release that reached an enormous crowd, plus the social media activity. They also, it's not on here, but they also involved a local sports team in spreading the word about HPV, and that was pretty cool because it was also involving men, so not just females. Cindy, if you don't mind unmuting yourself, maybe you can talk about the activities of Action for HPV in Singapore last year, just real briefly.
Hi, sure, I'll be happy to share about what we did in Singapore. Yeah, so yeah, we're really grateful to actually be one of the partners of this One Less Worry campaign. It has been really exciting for us to be in part of this journey because to us, we are a youth-led and a ground-up organization. So what we realized that is actually an issue is actually a lot of young people are not aware. And what we really wanted to do was to activate the youth. And the best way to activate them is by involving them, kind of like really getting them to suggest, getting them to be involved in our campaigns. So very much our work has been very organic. We have actually launched only in 2020, and we're very glad that in less than a year we became a partner of IPVS. So actually it was really great because it was really organic, where after we heard about this One Less Worry campaign last year, we decided to jump on board, and we had a team of multi-talented youths. So one of them being a singer who actually writes songs for his community. His name is Wawan Hussein. So he actually wrote this song called The One Less Worry, where we really want a catchy way of getting young people to know about this. Of course, this year, we are excited that beyond just having this song, we would like to amplify it to be a TikTok challenge. So I mean, the work that we have done, we decided that, it's not good that if we just kind of do it on our own. We hope that using social media with TikTok, we really can actually get more young people, not just in Singapore, but across the world, to be part of this movement of One Less Worry. And I think it's very nice because we are also using the brand guide and all the resources that IPVS has provided us. So like, for example, all the materials that we printed we managed to engage politicians who actually also did the song and the dance together with us, and we made sure that we place the One Less Worry content to actually be prominent and visible to all our stakeholders. What is nice is that in Singapore, what we really wanted to do was to ensure that different groups are reached out, particularly the minorities. The language, I think it was good that IPVS also had content in Malay. So we actually tapped on those resources to reach out to the Malay community. And you can see that we had a multilingual news coverage across English, Mandarin, as well as Malay news. Yeah, so this year we are looking forward to continue to amplify our work. And of course, we are launching the Global TikTok Challenge with the support of IPVS on World Cancer Day and running all the way to the International HPV Awareness Day. Yeah, thank you.
That's so nice, Cindy. Thanks for sharing. We'll come also to the TikTok challenge a little bit later in this presentation, but it's going to be an adventure. I think there's potentially a lot of fun to be had with it. It's over to you again, Joe, if you'd like to continue.
Yeah, thank you. So just to go through a little bit of detail about what we've got in the way of resources for this year and what's new from last year. So we've got a separate focus for vaccination and screening this year, and we've got 2 separate videos, 30-second videos, which have been translated into English, French, Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, Hindi and Malay. So those are available to download. We've got 2 types of posters, so the more emotional sort of posters with the photo imagery about I'm just trying to remember whether so they are separate for screening and vaccination again, and then the more kind of informative posters with the facts about HPV and cervical cancer over on the right hand side of the slide. And then so, Cindy, you mentioned about the importance of engaging with young people in order to try and attract more youth advocates this year and try and get them to influence their peers. We've developed this youth playbook. So it's a handy one-pager for young advocates. And we hope that the TikTok Zumba Dance Challenge will spread through our youth-led partners and stakeholders. And this explains everything that they'll need to know about that.
Plus, we've got these cool animated Giphy stickers that I want to see more used more this year. I'm going to try to figure out how to use them myself.
Great. And then, as before, you'll be able to kind of adapt lots of the resources to reflect your own populations and areas. So we've got quite a lot more additional imagery compared with last year, and to try and reflect a sort of more diverse range of different sorts of people. All the vaccine materials have all got parent and child pairs, so that's mothers and daughters, or mothers and sons, or fathers and their children, whereas the screening ones have got women, but we hope that you can choose images that will reflect your local populations.
Yeah, and to that, I'd just like to add something that maybe not everybody has realized. If none of the images that we've purchased for the toolkit, if none of them really hit the nail on the head with that's how people look in Singapore or China or South Africa, you can use your own images. We have a poster builder and we have the design files for each of both the screening and the vaccination posters. So you can make the imagery really fit to your own needs as well.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah. So yeah, this just shows the poster builder, which can be used both for printed posters and for online posters. And we've changed, one of the changes we've made from last year was a little tweak to the colour palette, which we hope will make the printed materials look better, because there were some issues with that last year. And again, as Chris said, you can swap things in and out of these, so you can use a local image or one of the range of images that we've got. There's a QR code which you can put something that's relevant and that links to locally relevant information, and similarly with the web link. And obviously, and we've got these available in the languages that you can see on the screen there. Again, you can adapt with your own text. Anything else to say about that, Chris?
No, I think that's exactly right. The design files to which partners have access, there are separate files for digital production and print production. We didn't have that before. So I really encourage those of you who are going to pick up and localize the materials to go into the 2023 Dropbox and carefully select what meets your purposes. And you know, there'll be a different file if you want to have a poster that flows digitally through a hospital or print out for the local clinic. Those are both possible with better color results than we had in the previous year.
Great. So yeah, and then we, as well as the sort of one for printed materials, we've got the social media post builder. But this can also be used to print out posters again. So I think these are A4 posters that can be printed. And again, you can adapt your own content to tailor the messages and the imagery to build those social media posts.
And it's exciting that this year you can put in just about any language, where if you see underneath the social media post where the lady says HPV is as common as a cold, you can put that in Arabic or anything else. And that's a flexibility that, well, it was less flexible in 2022. So we're kind of happy to be able to accommodate the linguistic diversity. So even within your own country, people could, if they know where to get a hold of the file, they can really personalize. And that's on askabouthpv.org. So that's where you can find it.
Great. So for this one, you need a wall. But if you've got a wall where you could have a billboard, this seems
or Joe, or a tarp, or if you can't paint on a wall, you can paint on a canvas. But it's the idea that you know, some big surface where people can stop and make a selfie. Yeah.
So there's no reference to HPV on this one. So the idea is to kind of create intrigue and sort of make people wonder what it's about. Partners can co-brand. And if you've got high quality sources of information locally about HPV, you can use that website rather than the Ask About HPV web address. And again, the default QR codes here will take people to Ask About HPV, but you can add additional links and information as well. So yeah, the idea is that this creates a sort of focal community point where people can stop and take selfies and then post those on social media and find out more information.
Yeah, okay, we've hit this already. It's just flexibility. These are...
Go on.
Go ahead. No, I'm talking too much.
No, it's fine. I think you know more than I do. So here so this is going back to 2022. We had the videos and the static posts and the stickers, and those all remain available. So if you want to go back to the 2022 materials, if they worked well for your areas, then please do continue to use those as well as the new ones. Chris mentioned, well, this year they moved, but last year we had all these media stickers, which you can still use to create those kind of individualized messages and social media stories.
We've got,
yeah.
Sorry, I'll just add something here. We've got the same in the 2023 Dropbox. We have the same static posts as we did last year, but we've updated the colors so that that's important to know. You can still access all the posts from 2022, but in the new colors. Sorry, Joe, I just wanted to add that.
No, go on. And then I was going to ask you, I don't know what OLW is.
One less worry.
Oh, right, okay. I haven't seen it abbreviated like that. Good.
Any opportunity to be lazy.
Okay, so yeah, again, these are the static posts that can be used on Instagram and Facebook.
These are the web banners have also been updated for the new colors. This is just something you know you can put on your own website somewhere as a temporary or ongoing advertisement for HPV awareness.
And I think we're doing digital advertising, aren't we? So if people are searching for these for sort of HPV related issues, then they hopefully the One Less Worry adverts will pop up as well. So it should help our reach. So the final thing I think is the live event. So because HPV Awareness Day, the 4th of March, falls on a Saturday, we're actually doing this on the Friday to hope that more people will join. So this is an event being hosted by Joel Polewski, who's the chair of the Advocacy Committee, and moderated by, I can't remember her name. Yeah.
Tamika Felder is a broadcaster and cervical cancer survivor, and then the founder of an NGO called Survivor, and so she'll be moderating this year's session. Last year we were lucky enough to have Zodwa on our panel at our panel event, so. And that was a vaccination-oriented webinar, whereas this year we're going to zoom in on screening, and also look at what's on the horizon with screening for other HPV cancers aside from cervical cancer, which is obviously the main concern, but. In any case, we'd be very, very pleased to see all of you at this webinar, and ask if you could share the invitation as widely as possible. In a recent newsletter, the registration link has been shared with most of you. If you don't have it, please drop me a line. I'll be happy to forward it to you by email. Did you, sorry, again, talking a lot, Joe, anything else?
I don't think so. It should be a really great event. And obviously we know that screening's not where we would want it to be. It's, you know, travesty that so many women are dying of cervical cancer when we have, you know, as the tools to prevent it and to pick it up early and treat it. So yeah, really important issue, and would encourage people to join if they can, and to spread the word about that. And then finally, just the hashtags. So we've got the One Less Worry and the HPV Awareness Day specific hashtags for the 4th of March, and then the Ask About HPV hashtag that we use all the year round, and would ask you to use those hashtags as well. And then
you haven't seen this, Joe. I added this yesterday because it was at Coralie's suggestion. We want to remind our partners that they're very welcome to attend IPVC in April in Washington, D.C., and that partners have the possibility also to exhibit at the HPV Campaign Pavilion, where we will be having some dialogue sessions during coffee breaks, and each partner will be able to interact with the participants at the conference and talk about what they're doing and inspire each other. And basically, we're trying to put advocacy and awareness on make it very visible at this year's conference that it's a big piece of the entire equation alongside the science, that making people aware about the HPV and the risks so for their health, as well as the solutions for preventing HPV related cancer. This is also we need to connect the science to the advocacy and learn from each other. So we're hopeful that partners will take advantage of the combined package offer. And if you like further information, you're welcome to contact hpvday@kennis.com. You'll end up talking to me.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it should be a really good conference. I'm excited about it. And nice to get back to an in-person conference for the first time for since pre-COVID. So it'd be really good. So yeah, that's all we've got to say. Good luck with the preparation. And if people have got questions or would like to share plans or ideas, we'd love to hear what you're planning.
Does anybody have a question for us?
Not a question, just a comment. Just to say thank you. I think the material really, I like the look and feel of it. It's quite inspiring, and even the target audience, that we want to capture. So although we don't, for us, it's always resource constraints in South Africa. It's always a challenge.
For us too.
Yeah.
So your story.
Yeah. So what I want to say is that, just sharing those creative ideas of what's taken place in other countries, we can also look at how can we adopt that into our normal work that we're doing every single day, and using some of the creative material as well. We'll speak to our marketing department in terms of making it, if they can make it look more essay context, more that sort of feel. But thank you for all your hard work and everything that you have put into making this possible for us. Having the material really helps us to be able to convey the messages. We're so grateful for that. Thank you.
Thanks for saying that, Lorraine. But you make me want to ask you a question, because if we share this presentation, there are, in our campaign 22 final report, we had 7 examples. I selected 3. Maybe they were my favorites, but I have 4 more. Maybe it's nice if that presentation, if I share it with you, and you will have more examples to discuss with your marketing team, perhaps some additional ideas. Would that be something that it would interest you?
It will definitely, because it's not only the marketing team. We have a health campaign forum in cancer with all the staff, that the key role players. So we can also share that to inspire them, to get them to start thinking creatively on how we can adapt some of those into our work. So yeah, thank you.
Wonderful.
So Edward, did you have a question?
Yeah, no, thank you. This is, I really want to say thank you. Chris, you have answered my question, because I was going to ask for the presentation, just to share with our team. And while you were presenting, I was just thinking, because we are trying, I'm doing more advocacy, so we want to work very close with the Department of Education. So I was just thinking, I'll even text Lorraine here, that I think it will be nice, to share this with them, and see what material also they, if we can work together and look at the material. And also, for me, the take home also here from your presentation is to work with youth. I was just thinking that, Lorraine, I was just texting Lorraine that we need to talk. There is one college, we've got a good relationship. Maybe, we will have to approach them and see how can we partner, and we work with a group who are doing marketing. And so I think it would be good for them just maybe to do TikTok or whatever. So I think it would be nice.
You should talk to Cindy. She said they're almost ready with the plan is to launch the TikTok challenge, I believe, on the 4th of February, in 2 days, right, Cindy? Or yeah, you're on mute. So well, okay. Anyway,
lastly from me, I missed as you mentioned that we can personalize the file, maybe having our own images. So if you maybe email me, how are we going to do that, with using your material to personalize it?
Well, Zotwa, because Kansa is an official campaign partner, you have access to a Dropbox, and in that Dropbox you have the type of files that can be edited. So someone in the team has to have some design skills. You have to be able to work with a software called InDesign. I don't have those skills, but there is a technical support document to get people started. And if you find someone with a bit of graphic design skills, they can open these files and change them around. They know what to do. That's different than the files that we have on Ask About HPV, the public-facing website. Those ones you can just download and use. You can't change. But we know that you need localized images. You need perhaps linguistic editing. You need the QR code that takes people to local healthcare resources. So that's why these files are editable in every way, including the images.
So we can find that on your website, Chris.
I have sent you an email, or I've sent Lorraine and probably you, because I shared with everybody the Dropbox links. But not everybody has this role, so maybe you didn't realize what they were for. But Lorraine, you have them, right?
Yeah, I've downloaded them, and I've also told our marketing division that it's all available. So
focus on the 2023 materials. I actually didn't need to share the 2022 Dropbox with anyone because our creative agency updated everything in the 2023 file. So that's but that's neither here nor there. It's super exciting to know that IPVS has managed to create some stuff that's going to get used. So thank you very much for being here today. Zichen, we didn't hear from you, but I suspect you're from the Cancer Foundation of China. So if you are, maybe give us a thumbs up if you're working with Yulin. In any case, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining and for your ongoing work and support. Are there any other comments or questions?
Does anybody want to talk about specific plans they have? I think we're a small group, and I don't know if there's too much more to share at this juncture.
Nothing from Cancer, from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, then we're going to conclude a little bit early, and I'd like to say thank you, Joe, for hosting this and
Pleasure.
putting up
Thanks
with
for chipping
with my frequent additional comments.
Comments are very welcome and helpful. Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day or a good evening. And
yeah, thank you all for joining. And the presentation will be shared. I might have to use WeTransfer to do it because it's even when I save in PDF, it's still a monster. So, all right.
Great.
Keep well.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.